Right. Let's get the live chat up and running. That might be a good idea. Voila. There we are. Got it going. Fantastic. Okay, so yeah, hello everyone. It's me, Spurs Rail 96 here, and welcome to yet another Train Sim World 2 live stream. Today, once again, focusing on my favourite route, the 1983's Northern Trans-Pennine. Today I'll be taking a look at the official add-on pack to this route, the British Rail Heavy Freight Pack. So let's get going. So what you get is the BR Class 08 and the BR Class 40, and they do shunting and freight services up and down the Pennines. So let's start with the 08. Van move, newspaper, vans, carriage collection. That sounds interesting. We got some vans. All van moves, aren't they? Vans to Newton Heath, Red Bank, a van swap at Huddersfield, Red Bank, stabling move, return to Red Bank, and a coach collection. That's a newspaper train. Vans, collect some vans and bring them into Newton Heath. Yeah, let's do that one. Why not? Right, I'll say my hellos to Liam and Benny49. Hey, how are you? Hope you're all well. Hope everyone has had a good weekend. Right, collect some vans and bring them back to Newton Heath Depot. Just turn down the volume in my headset. Let's just put on the instrument lights and the marker lights. Sit in the little chair. Right. Let's do the points. They need to be in the correct positions. There we are. Perfect. Always use the loco brake when you're just operating a, well, lone locomotive without any freight attachments or coaches or whatever. It's quicker to get on the brakes as it is quick to get off the brakes. There's another 08 passing through. If you haven't got the heavy freight pack, I strongly recommend you get it, that's for sure. I think it's one of the very rare packs which actually, comes with additional locomotives and rolling stock. I think the other one being the diesel legends of Great Western, as a matter of fact. That comes with, 3 types of rolling stock, 3 locomotives. One's technically a multiple unit, isn't it? But what was that altogether? I'm just thinking off the top of my head. You've got 3 a shunter, a mainline diesel locomotive, a commuter style mechanical multiple unit, complete new timetable, some pretty cool scenarios. We need to go backwards. If I could ever start moving. There we go. That's better. Actually, I need to look at the points. Way, it's good timing. Nope. Nope. Yes. Thank you. Perfect. That's right, isn't it? I don't think it is. It is now. And we're going all the way to there. Let's just check the points. Over there. Seems right to me. Oh, our train's gone walkabout. Well, it's not really walking about, but you know what I mean. The expression. Bobby, hey, how are you? Nice to see you. Hope you're well. Benny tricked you, this is still Liam. My nickname is Benny. So you've got 2 YouTube accounts. Right. It's a bit odd, but okay, fair enough. Liam's specifications: locomotive is 49 long tons. Fuel capacity 3,040 litres or 802 US gallons. Prime traction is an English electric 6 kT generator DC. Yeah, the 08's quite good. I like the 08. Always been a little plucky little shunter, hasn't it? And I think it's one of the most common types of shunters to have survived, actually. I mean, you can use them in quite a variety of routes now. What you can use in Great Western Express with the diesel legends, Northern Transpennine, Tees Valley. What else? I'm just thinking. Could you use on Spirit of Steam? No, you couldn't. They weren't around then. West Cornwall, Brighton. I don't think you can. Maybe little southeastern. Maybe I'm not too sure. Don't think you could. Maybe you could for shunting in the yard, couldn't you? I'm not too sure about that. I have to have a little check on that. Oh, beautiful. Nice cup of tea. Yeah, it's just chucked down with rain earlier. It's stopped now, so that's good. It rained a lot last night too. Getting a lot of heavy rain at night at the moment. But hey, I'm not complaining. I just had some examinations today. 2 of them. Certainly the theory side of those exams were more trickier than I expected, but I think I did better than expected. If you're wondering what those examinations are, they were dance examinations. One was for a teaching qualification, and the other one was just the next step in the grade, so to speak. But yeah, I think I did overall pretty good, pretty solid. If I get anything, if I get a distinction, I'll be over the moon. Over the moon. Oh, fantastic. Now, as you well can obviously tell, I'm streaming on a Sunday, so streaming on Sundays and Mondays will now be back to normal. So normal service has resumed. And in terms of the next stream, I will be taking a visit to Germany. I haven't been on the German route in a while, streaming wise, and that will be on Rossignol. We're taking a look at the container locomotive, the electric DBBR 155. So if you want to join me for that stream, then check me out, or you know, head to my YouTube channel for the next live stream at roughly 8:30 p.m.ish UK time on Monday the 5th of September. Lovely. Struggling for speed up this pretty steep gradient, but we're ticking along nicely. As long as we keep moving, that's all that matters. Benny, the profile picture I am using, this one in a Ford Capri and the other one is in a Jaguar. I think I can't remember, I've only found the image 2 days ago. Oh right. I was just wondering, Liam, how can you be operating 2 YouTube accounts at the same time? Unless you must use 2 different devices, like I don't know, one on your phone and one on your laptop or computer or tablet, whatever. I was gonna say that is pretty much impossible. You cannot operate two YouTube accounts on one device, not at the same time, if I'm led to believe, unless there's a little loophole. I don't know. Aline, quick question, and it's not every day I ask a question, but is it just me, or do you like sabotaging other trains on T's Valley North Transpennine when it says uncoupled loco? You do then couple them. I wouldn't say a sabotage. I imagine if you mean like be a bit rough, maybe with the driving aspect, like, you know, if I'm not slowing down in time to connect to something, I'll try and get in the free camera and try and click on the couple button as soon as the shunter or locomotive gets close to its designated target. Then yeah, I now and again, depending how I feel, sometimes I'll drive realistically, sometimes I'll drive, I suppose, semi-realistic, like I'll behave myself driving wise. But if it's like doing something unusual like shunting or loading or unloading something, I suppose I could be a little bit rough with the acceleration or the braking side of things. Obviously I'm not like that in real life. When it comes to like driving a car or something, and you don't want to be rough at all, hell no. Right, we're just under a mile away from Newton Heath's holding sidings, number 2 to be exact. Benny, when journeys were completed, carriages were hauled away again by a shunter. That's correct. They were hauled to the yards or sidings or another part of the platform concourse, maybe a side track or something. But yeah, I definitely recommend, if you haven't got Transpennine or the Heavy Freight Pack. Heavy Freight Pack is really, really good. It adds such a lot to it. Not the fact that it brings heavy freight gameplay, it brings 2 types of freight wagons, a TEA oil tanker wagon and a 12-ton vans as well, for, you know, simulating newspaper trains or I don't know, light materials in the vans or something like that. There's also the added benefit that you can use the Class 40 locomotive in passenger services as well as freight services, and that also applies to the Class 45 and 47, which were originally used on Transpennine just for passenger operations. You can now use them on freight duties as well. And it's a lot of services as well. You've got 24 additional freight services and 11 services for the shunter. So yeah, the timetable is pretty fleshed out. Nowhere near as much as say Tees Valley, or maybe I think Transpennine, if you add the Heavy Freight Pack together, has got more services than the whole of West Cornwall local combined, with the Transpennine stuff integrated into that route. So it's not too bad. Personally, for me, I wish they could have added some more services, particularly for the shunter here. I mean, it only does shunting duties in Newton Heath or in the Manchester area. There's no shunting activities at all in Leeds, which is a bit weird, considering there's a big depot in Leeds. Not only that, but the depot at just to the side of Leeds City Station has a lot of, you know, locomotive rolling stock, 45s, 47s, 40s, and you can't even use any of them, like to take them in or out of the in and out of service. So yeah, a bit puzzling. Being a bit picky, as it's my favourite route, I would have loved to have seen them integrate the Class 31 in, add some more freight action. May not be as realistic, but I think just for a bit more fun. Plus, you know, again, it enlivens the route up a bit more. I'm braking way too early, aren't I? What am I doing that for? Oops. Right, let's get on the brakes. Perfect. Right, what have we got to do? Uncouple 10 vehicles. where are we going now? Oh, we've got to change a point here, and I imagine change a point there. Yes, we do, right there. There as well. Yes, indeed. Right, full speed. We haven't got a moment. We've got a moment to lose. Let's go, go, go. NTS 86. Hey, how are you? Nice to see you. If this is a buy, indeed it is. It is indeed a must buy. And if you pick it up on a discount, I think it's even better. It just adds so much for a price of a normal local DLC. It's not too bad, is it? I mean, sometimes you'll get an additional locomotive that doesn't even add any new services or any new kind of operations to the route's timetable, but this, it certainly does. That's guaranteed. Plus, you can use some of its elements, TransPennine and the heavy freight pack on the Diesel Legends, the Great Western, and West Cornwall. So there's that as well, thrown into the mix. So we're going to stop right here, near where all the trees and foliage is here. I suppose a little field or something where the cows come home. Cows come out and just watch the shunting all day and every day. What a fun life. Right, let's change the points. Where are we going this time? We're going down this one. So change that one there. That's fine. And we're going there. Awesome. Alfie, hey, how are you? Thierry, hey, how are you? That's okay, don't worry about it. I haven't been streaming on Sunday due to work issues, or work commitments, but now I've got my little Sunday night slot free again. I can now do streaming on Sundays and Mondays again. Whereas before it was just Mondays, so that's nice. We're going to be very close to that entrance to the shed there, or to this little workshop. Very close indeed. Perfect. Excellent. Wonderful. That's the vans taken care of. Right, let's return to the main menu and do some mainline action with the Class 40. You get a head code disc nose variant and just one with a head code lights as well. Let's do one in the afternoon. What shall we find? Haley Mills, Huddersfield to Haley Mills, loaded oil, empty oil. What is the time? 10 past. Let's do some short and sweet ones with the oil. Haley Mills to Huddersfield, to Haley Mills. Yeah, let's do that one. Rapid Revenge, hey, how are you? It has been a long time, hope you're well. Nice to see you. Thierry, perhaps it would have been cool to have got a Class 101 rescue scenario service as well. 101 rescue scenario. Yeah, I definitely, if it was in a scenario or something, yeah, I think that'd be quite cool. I think the closest thing you can get to, I suppose, mimicking that kind of situation would be if you use the 31 on Tees Valley. You get to tow, well, not really tow, but use I suppose dead pair of Class 101s for passenger services. You have to turn the locomotive round at Saltburn. There's some sidings just outside the station, but I suppose that's the closest thing you can get to doing that kind of thing. Tail lights. Reminder that this locomotive does have safety systems on board, AWS, but as this route didn't have an AWS fitted, we don't need to use it. Beautiful horn. It's a little bit too too low for me. Yeah, let's have it in the middle. That's better. Right, Merfield is just over 4 miles. I could just do a full run from Manchester Victoria to Leeds, but it would take far too long, so I thought do some short and sweet ones. I think there's another one going from Merfield, or was it Hayley Mills to... Is it Merfield to London Victoria, or Leeds to Merfield? I'm not too sure. I'm taking a very long time to move it. What's going on? There's loaded oil and there's only one locomotive. Maybe we should put down a bit of power. There we go. There we go, rock and roll. We're moving, and what a sight to behold. Imagine being around in the early 80s and seeing these in action. Well, seeing all of this in action, really. Just going onto the station and just seeing big heavy freight trains, expresses, local commuters, shunters moving around, attaching and uncoupling bits and bobs from freight trains or passenger trains. It must be quite extraordinary. Benny, introduced a few years earlier, the Class 08 was based on the LMS design, which later became the Class 11, numbering 120. Oh really? Never knew that. Thierry, I went out spotting a few days ago and caught the Network Rail 150. All very nice. Hope you got a little photograph of that or a video clip of it in action. I would advise going train spotting this weekend. I think certainly it's been pretty warm. It's just rain. I mean, luckily for me, I've had heavy rain mainly in either early morning or in the middle of the night. Had a lot of heavy rain this morning. Just not too long ago, I had a bit of heavy rain when I was having my dinner, and I had even more heavy rain at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning last night. So yeah, I wouldn't advise going train spotting in those kind of conditions. Alright, let's get going. To Merfield, just under 4 miles away. There's a little yard over to the left here, which doesn't get used either. Wish that could have been fleshed out with some activities. Imagine doing some shunting in there, that'd be quite something. I think you could do a tutorial in there with the Class 40 if I'm not mistaken. Liam, I won't race for a long time because Cornwall killed my legs with all the hills. He must have meant on the moors then or something. I don't really know Cornwall's countryside that well, I'm afraid, but you would think Cornwall would be famous for its coastal side of things, not the hilly side of things, but there we are. No doubt it's got some nice scenic beauty in the countryside. I remember watching a video of the Loo Valley line and that looked quite spectacular. Thierry, where I live, it's been sunny, between 23 to 25 degrees. Very nice. It's been warm for sure, yeah. Just looking at the forecast for next week, it's mainly going to be just thundery rain and supposedly heavy showers, so back to normal pretty much. Summertime is over, and it is for a lot of people, isn't it, as people have gone back to education, school, college, university, etc, etc. Apprenticeships, all that kind of jazz. I'll tell you something that I brought yesterday on the PlayStation, and no, it's not Train Sim Mod 3. I actually received a notification that finally, after a year of putting it on my wish list, I finally managed to get Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered, which at last is on a discount. You can pick it up now on PlayStation for, I think, £7, which it's not too bad at all, is it? I think it came with the full game, all of the original DLC, and another game, I think it was for the PlayStation Vita or PSP, whatever. So yeah, I'm definitely going to give that a play tomorrow on my day off, have some fun. Right, we got a break now. Which it isn't happening. The brake pressure is coming up slowly. Well, it's not too bad, we're slowing down ish. It's not going to be bang on the limit, but it's not going to be too bad. Let's release the brakes. We'll just cruise now until we get to Merfield. No point accelerating. It'll take too long to brake then. Then we'll miss the stop and then it will go horribly wrong. I must say the railways in real life in this country is not doing very well at all. It's, as the Fat Controller says, is doing things wrong is giving a bad name on the railway. And that's an understatement. What's happening at the moment? I think we're having another rail strike in a couple of weeks' time. This time it's the drivers striking again. I think I've lost count how many strikes we've had this year on the rail alone. It's got to be what, 3, 4, 5? We could be in double figures by the end of the year at this rate. Yeah, I mean, striking once or twice, yeah, sure, but 3 or 4 times in a couple of months. I mean, geez, people are never going to use the railways again. All that money people spend on season tickets. I mean, I remember I saw a quote the other day for a season ticket from the south coast to London, and a season ticket is nearly what, 3, 4, 5 grand. It's ridiculous. Right, we are approaching Merfield. I stopped a bit too early here actually. I was very, very conscious of getting down the speed, so that will just increase the power. Ah, bugger. Oh, maybe not enough. %, surely. Alright, 40%. 20%. Come on, train. You like that. Come on. No, I don't want to move at the moment, does it? We're on a bit of a downhill grading as well. There we are. Yay, we're moving. Perfect. That didn't take too long. Benny, the next strike is the 15th and the 26th of September. I swear there was one on the 18th. Or no, the 17th if I'm mistaken. 15th is a Thursday, 17th is a Saturday, and the 19th is a Monday. Yeah, not Monday. 19th makes sense. Maximum disruption at rush hour on Monday morning. Yeah, but overall, I mean, I don't agree with it personally. I mean, there are some people that, you know, don't get paid anywhere near the kind of wages that National Rail pays to all train companies pay to their staff, and some people, in depending which area you want to focus on, they literally can't strike. They literally cannot strike. I mean, imagine what it would be like if the NHS decided to go on strike. You know, they've hardly had nowhere near the pay rise, personally speaking, but yeah, but they just shut up and get on with it, don't they? Maybe that's what the railway sector should do. Hey ho. Right, there's the yellow signal. Straight ahead. Believe me, when you're at Cornwall, there is one thing you can possibly wish for. No more hills and just a flat surface. Right, now we can brake for all we want. All it's worth. Come on, train, brake, will you? Whoops. That's okay, we haven't got punished for that. Hey, awesome. That took just over under 12 minutes. Got a silver. Happy days. Thierry pre-ordered TSW3 and overall it's a pretty decent game in my opinion. She's, or Savi's nice to be 603 one services compared to 271, along with the TGV and Steam Tour Rail services. Yeah, I heard it's got Steam Tours, and the TGV one's quite interesting. That was a bit of a surprise. I'm still not convinced. It's, to me, I go back to the point, as I've said many times, it's just not enough to warrant 40 to 50 quid departing from my bank account. It really is as simple as that. Plus, there's extra problems with PlayStation as well, like, you know, DLC, all the Train Sim World 2 and Train Sim World 1 DLC not being available in the first week to be played on Train Sim World 3, so that is a bit of a disaster. Add on to the fact that you can't even use all your DLC in one game at the same time because the DLC cap still hasn't been fixed. It was meant to be fixed today or tomorrow, but still hasn't. So it's yeah, I'm gonna wait until things calm down with Train Sim World 3's launch, and then I'll see what's in the pipeline for the game, and then if it convinces me, I may pick it up, but I'll see. Right, let's use the 40 with a headcode disc variant this time. That's Haley Mills. I swear I've seen one to Merfield before. Manchester, Victoria from to Huddersfield. Haley Mills to... Oh, it's Stalybridge. Okay. Let me just type in Merfield a minute. If I don't even know how to spell it. I'll be amazed if I spelt it right. Let's have a search. Oh no, it doesn't exist. Fair enough. Let's do that one. Not Manchester. Oh, there is Merfield. Yeah, Merfield to Stalybridge. Oh, that's not too bad. And that one is also loaded oil. Oh, that's ideal. Let's pick that one, shall we? Liam, Dad just texted me Arsenal's game score. Yeah, I was so pleased. I mean, isn't it just fantastic? You know, Liverpool, Manchester City, and now Arsenal have all dropped points this weekend, whereas Tottenham have continued their flying start and are nearly at the Premier League summit. Not bad at all. May not be performing as well, and we're not blowing teams away as we were before, but we're winning games, and we're unbeaten. That's all that matters in my book. Whether we're going to win a championship this year... turn all the markers on here. Close the sun visor. That's so 80s. Groovy. Cab light, tail light. There's an instrument light somewhere. There it is. Turn around. Turn on the correct brake system. Vacuum goods. Any buttons here? Adjust the seat height. Now this train is much longer, I think. Oh no, it's actually the same, I think. So it's obviously come from over there. Or Healy Mills, or Haley Mills. And now we're going all the way to Staley Bridge. And then the train will carry on over there. Let's go full power. Release the brakes fully. Let's get rocking and rolling. Liam, it seems Jesus. I'm gonna save us. Yeah, very good. Jesus. Yeah. I mean, when he first came to the Premiership, I thought he was called Jesus, not Jesus, as his actual name is pronounced. Right, I think I'll do this run to Staley Bridge, and then I think I'll call it a day, I think. Because I was going to originally do just one big long freight trip from Manchester to Leeds or vice versa, but I thought, you know, there's some services that go from point to point in the middle of the map, you know, like Huddersfield to Merfield, or Merfield to, you know, Staley Bridge, or Manchester to Huddersfield. So I thought, why not do some of them? It's pretty quick and simple, and you get to kind of go at a more lowish speed in this part of the route, whereas normally if you're doing an express or something, you know, we just thunder through. So there's that element to it as well. Seeing the sights at a bit more leisurely pace. We've got 20 miles to go until Staley Bridge. Off to the left. Better turn off the power. Liam, before I got to Cornwall, my parents wanted to see Penny Lane because of the Beatles, so I got them dropped off to the nearest hotel and drove to Salisbury for a break and see Rocks, then go. Oh right, nice. Obviously a big fan of the Beatles. I'm personally not a big fan of the Beatles, but yeah, they made some good tunes. That's an understatement. Very, very good tunes, the Beatles. Got a 40 mile per hour speed limit in just over 2 miles time. You know, Liam, but on the way I had to listen to John Lennon for some reason, or listening to rubbish radio stations, but there was a good side for once on the radio. Mega racing was mentioned. Oh, that's nice. Imagine it was on the local radio station or something. Let's see this train pass by. Excellent, awesome. Earlier my dad had hated to drive to Penny Lane as he doesn't like that genre of music. Instead, he likes heavy metal like Metallica. Yeah, fair enough. I like a bit of rock now and again. I'm not obsessed with it, I wouldn't say that, but yeah, I've got a pretty decent taste in music, so I've been told. Local service. Going to Leeds. We're about to go through Huddersfield. I think the speed limit will drop to 50 miles per hour, 25 miles per hour. I imagine it's 15 as we're going through a main station. Let's release the brakes. A lot of industry here. Mostly probably empty now or converted into housing or shopping centres and all that stuff. I've never been to Huddersfield, so I don't know what it looks like in today's form. Or I don't know what form it looks like in today. Alright, Huddersfield straight ahead. Ben Davis, yes, more strikes. Yes, lovely. I'm going to the North York Moors Railways for a steam gala on the 22nd and the 25th. Thank God to the train strikers on the 26th. Yeah, damn right. Quite interesting, wouldn't it? Like, imagine if National Rail kept doing this, the government might have to call in the Heritage Railways for assistance. It'd be quite interesting. Get their drivers in and steam engines and diesels and all that stuff on standby. That'd be quite interesting. Into the darkness we go. Yeah, North York Moors Railways. Not too bad. I think they've got a pretty decent set of locomotives. I don't know what it is like now, but I remember I watched a documentary on it. Albeit this was like way back in like the 1990s, which I found the other day. Quite nice scenery, that's for sure. It's on the North Yorkshire Moors. Can't ask for anything better than that. Unless you're in the Highlands in Scotland, of course, and yeah. And then the total volume of rail freight moved was 17.2 billion tonnes. 17.2 billion net ton kilometres. Oh, right. In 2016-17, freight train movements totaled 224,000 in that year as well. Wow. There are four main rail operator companies in the United Kingdom: Direct Rail Services, Freightliner, Great Britain Rail Freight or Great British Rail Freight, and the largest Deutsche Bahn Cargo UK, or formerly the English Welsh Scottish Railway. I haven't had anything from Great Western Railway, have we? Speaking of that, I don't think you can even upload anything to the Creators Club with any GWR branding or GWR looks, I suppose. I imagine you could do First Great Western, but I don't think you can't do anything GWR. One of the partnership between GWR and Dovetail have dried up. I wouldn't be at all surprised if they're not even a partner anymore. Nothing has happened to that route or anything Great Western Railway related since it came out in 2017. Heck, I don't know, maybe GWR thought they did a terrible job. Who knows? "15 miles to go until Staley Bridge." A friend of mine lives in Staley Bridge. Station's just there. And we're here. We still got to go through Standard Tunnel, which is 3 to 5 miles long. No doubt the longest tunnel on this route. I mean, you can tell I know this route pretty well, as it's my favourite. I'd love to have an extension to Sheffield, or yeah, Sheffield I think would be quite good. That's like the Steel City, isn't it? And it'd be quite cool to have some steel runs on the Pennine Hill, running through the Pennine Hills. I don't know how long a route extension from was it Manchester to Sheffield would be in 1983, but I'd definitely love that. Oh, imagine if we get that. Oh, in Train Sim World 3. I'll pick Train Sim World 3 up in a heartbeat if we get anything like that. If we get an extension to Transpennine, I'll bump money straight away. There can be no question about that. Liam, there are also smaller independent operators. Oh wow. Which are Colas Rail, DC Rail and Mendip Rail. Alright. Interesting. I think I've heard of Mendip Rail before. Used to take some aggregates to the Mendips, if I remember correctly. From like in the Thames Valley area, I recall. It was a long time ago. Well, I say a long time ago, probably like 2, 3, 4 years back. But I don't know if they still do freight activities to the Mendips or not, to be honest with you. Right, I better have a sip of tea. "13 miles to go until Staley Bridge." Terry Jenkins, Deutsche Bahn Cargo, or English Welsh Scottish Railway back then, and Freightliner were formed as part of the British Rail's privatisation, and Great British Rail Freight was formed as a private company. Oh, right. Part of British Rail privatisation. Maybe we should have privatisation back. That might sort the railways out. Of course, tomorrow we'll find out who the next Prime Minister will be. Forgot about that. A new leader tomorrow. Can't get worse than what we've already had, surely. Jeez Louise. Still scratching my head as how I'm even going to get through this winter. Let alone Christmas. Jesus. I'm not even thinking about Christmas. I ain't going to get anything for anyone at Christmas. I just don't have the money. I'll probably buy myself something, but maybe my parents or something, or maybe my sister, but then again, it's her birthday coming up in November, so probably buy something for her birthday. I love that horn. So good. Liam, there are 3 types of railway engines, mechanical, yes, hydraulic or electric. Most diesel locomotives are electric transmission, which are called, yes, diesel electric locomotives. Well done, Liam. I imagine a lot of people who play Train Sim World would already know that. I definitely knew that for sure, because in most of my, if not all of my, a very good, probably what, 85% of most videos I make mostly use the word diesel electric or diesel mechanical, multiple unit or diesel electric locomotive or something like that. Struggling to get up to speed, aren't we? We're only just a notch over 50 miles per hour. Certainly not rushing away as I expected. I mean, 50 miles per hour is still pretty quick, don't get me wrong, but we've only got, how many wagons? Was it like 12 wagons? I think it's 11, 12 wagons. Oh, TEA tankers, I should say. But they are fully loaded as well, so, or fully fueled with oil. Benny, well, I now know what song to play if the Prime Minister lies, which is Give Me Some Truth by John Lennon. Yeah, very good. On May 15th last year, East Midlands Railways retired their final 2 intercity 125 trains. Yeah, I've heard of that last year. It's quite sad, isn't it? I think there was, I don't know how many HSTs are around still, but I imagine it's not many. If it's even in double figures, I think that will be considered impressive. I think GWR actually do run a couple of HSTs. There's another oil train going by. I think I go from Penzance to Plymouth, if I recall. I remember when I went on holiday to Cornwall, albeit this was nearly 2 years ago. There was a HST in the platform, albeit it wasn't the longest train. I think it was only a 5-coach set with 2 43s on either end, so I don't know, maybe they do run them. Banana Craft, hey, how are you? Very well, thank you. Hope you're well. Had a good weekend. A very tiring day today. Not worked, or I've had all of this week off. Be it Sunday, I've had some dance examinations to go through. One of them in particular was very important. It was a teaching qualification. Hopefully I get the result I'm looking for. Sadly I won't find out for the results for another 2-3 weeks, so eagerly awaiting the results. Alright, under 10 miles to go until Staley Bridge. Excuse me. I didn't watch the Formula 1 today, but apparently Ferrari had yet another shocking race, which was fantastic. Jesus. How worse can that thing get? That team, Ferrari, is literally at the moment an Italian soap opera. Awful. It's like EastEnders, but in Italian, just constant. Or Coronation Street, that's much better representation of Ferrari, isn't it? Ferrari's like an Italian Coronation Street, always things going on left or right. You think when things are just getting better, it's not. I mean, last week in Belgium, Ferrari had pole and they only finished, what, third and 4th, 5th, and they were 2nd and 3rd today, and they screwed them both up and finished 3rd and, what was it, 8th, 7th? I didn't watch the race, but I looked at the results and jeez, it just can't get worse for that team. They have probably one of the best cars they've ever had for years, and they still can't win the championship. Terrible. Might as well hire Kimi Raikkonen back in. I'm sure he could do a better job. Speaking of Kimi Raikkonen, he was in NASCAR, I believe, which is interesting. Oh, Banana Craft's on holiday, very nice. Hope you've had a good holiday so far. Liam, my football team is managed by 3 managers. 2 are Arsenal and 1 Ipswich. Some poor decisions made. How could Arsenal have 2 managers? 2 managers? I imagine you mean 1 manager for the males team and then obviously another manager for the women's team. I imagine. I don't know when the Women's Super League starts yet in England, the Women's Premier League, but I imagine it's not too far away. I forgot the new FIFA game is going to have the women's leagues in as well, which would be quite cool. Banana Croft, oh, you went down to the West Somerset Railway. Oh, I hope you had a great time. Was it a steam gala or a diesel gala or maybe a mixture of the two? Hope you had fun. Hope the weather was good for you. I'm sure it was a great turnout and hopefully you had a lot of fun. I'm sure you have. I haven't been to Preserve Railway in ages, years. I think the last time I went to a Heritage Railway I was what, 10, 12 years old? Jeez. Makes me feel terrible now I've said that. I'll have to go to one, I think. Another passenger service. Not sure if it was an express. I imagine it was one of the two. TRT tanker wagons weigh about 101 tons, or just under 102 tons by wagon, fully loaded. Excellent. Wow. Oh, I imagine they're pretty heavy. Liam, I watched the MotoGP today. They were at Misano, Italy. Even with 3 points grid penalties, someone still won the home Grand Prix. Very good. I don't follow MotoGP, so I don't know the riders' names, or I couldn't partner names with faces. That's for sure. I don't know all of the teams or the manufacturers in MotoGP. Not much of a bike person, really, to be honest. Banana Craft, Minehead is a rather lovely place. That doesn't surprise me. And the line is a lot nicer in TSW. It's a 1940s weekend, so mix should be a good weekend. Oh, very nice too. 1940s. Imagine it'll be the late 1940s. It can't be the early 1940s, can it? Because of World War II. Just under 5 miles to go until Staley Bridge. Liam, I remember when I told my dad about having, or dad's uncle about having 2 tons of timber landing on him. Oh, very nice. He could be a possible millionaire of 2 to 3 million pounds coming his way. Yes, yes, yes. Very funny. Yes, yes. We get it. Deary me. Oh dear. Banana Craft Train Sim World definitely have done the line really, really well. That's for sure. Ooh. Surprised by your analysis there. That's good. Pleasantly surprised. I mean, I've never been to the West Somerset Railway, but quite surprised by your analysis there. Train Sim World have done a good job representing the West Somerset Railway. I mean, we got to imagine West Somerset came out 4 years ago, just over 4 years ago, wasn't it? 2018 for the PC, and then a little bit later for consoles. When it was still known as, when Train Sim World was in its infancy still. I'm surprised we still haven't got any Steam running on West Somerset. I thought they would squeeze that into a timetable. You think, you know, that if they can put Spirit Steam on, you know, most of the rail tour kind of services, or on the British routes, old and new, and that'd be quite cool. Certainly had a different challenge, driving wise. Thierry, an average freight train burns 3 gallons per hour while idling. Jeez, that's a lot. 3 gallons, good grief. And 188 gallons per hour at full power. Well, they're not exactly environmentally friendly, are they? Banana Craft, I don't really know. I think it's 1940s in general. At the end of the war, as diesels in the war. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. Maybe for like a remembrance week or something like that in November, they could do like a World War theme kind of thing, remembering the fallen. I'll say all the usual YouTube shenanigans. If you enjoyed this stream, then make sure to hit that like button in if you are watching for the first time, live or on playback. Then I would very appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to the channel. The next stream will be on Monday the 5th of September 2022, where I'll be taking a trip to Germany, not in real life, in the game sadly, where I will be driving the DBBR 155 on some coal runs on Merfield. I think it's about time I start getting on the brakes, as we are very close to Staley Bridge. I'm going to keep an eye on the whoa, keep an eye on the speed. Thought we'd be braking a little bit better than that. Obviously not. Brake now, please. Please, 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 please. Go, go, go. Now we're going to be stuck in a dark tunnel, aren't we? Yes, we are. Yep, we are. Drat. 20% or something like that. Come on, train. Oh, put it down a bit more throttle wise. We should be fine. Come on! You did it once, you can do it again. Come on. Move! Yeah, rock and roll. Excellent. Banana Craft, well, Minehead is pretty much the same, apart from a few new things added this year, but it's pretty much looking at the real thing with the other stations as well. Very good. Dovetail usually get the station architecture pretty accurate. I imagine it's just the surrounding landscape that's a little bit more barren, I suppose, compared to the more condensed populated areas or the main big terminus stations or yards. Right, now I've got to brake again. But I still think they should add some more lines in, like the West Somerset Railway. There is a lovely line in York they could do. Preserved railways. Oh yeah, you could have every preserved railway in the country if you want, or around Europe or in America or something. That'd be quite interesting. It's whether people's appetite. It depends if people's how many people can appetite that kind of, or stomach that kind of preserved railway thing. Because some people like it, some people just absolutely hate it and want a proper busy route, you know, full commuter or full freight or a bit of everything in between. So some people like heritage railways, some people absolutely hate it and thinks it's boring. So I suppose if Dovetail was to do, or any other third party maker would do, a preserved railway, I think they'd have to make the timetable or something a little bit more exciting than what West Somerset provides, for sure. Excuse me. Ooh, brake. We should be fine. Oh, perfect. Absolute perfection, that was. Excellent. That took me just under 34 minutes. And we got us over. Excellent. That rounds off a very good bit of work on the main line today. Very pleased with that. It's a nice picture of a signal box. Well, there we are, ladies and gentlemen. That concludes this stream, the British Rail Heavy Freight Pack on Northern Transpennine. If you'd enjoyed it, make sure to give it a like I said earlier. If you want to see or find out more about the next stream that's coming up tomorrow, I'll put a little post about it in the community section of my YouTube channel. Yeah, hope you really enjoyed the stream. Certainly have. It's nice to get back into the usual routine now of Sunday, Monday for streaming purposes. And I'm looking forward to the next stream tomorrow, so I hope you can join me then in Germany for a bit of fun with the electric container, or known as the DBBR 155 on Rösig Nord. So I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, wherever you are around the world. And as always, I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Take care.